No, but
why is it always a comic that has the most insight?
That was perfect.
well, because they could say exactly what they're not filtered.
Right,
they're not on.
right.
They're not like trying to stumble for the words to say it as politically
Right.
correct as possible.
I think we're onto something here. We're going to do therapy with a comic and a psychiatrist,
right?
And we're going to charge like double, but you'll get a synergistic triple effect.
Comic psychiatry.
Comic psychiatry.
And there's a place for humor in treatment. You know, it doesn't have to be all heavy and...
So what's your best joke, Dr. Go?
I don't tell jokes. Right. But I believe that it doesn't have to be all heavy, that you can lighten it up and, you know, you can laugh at yourself.
Mick, did you ever incorporate any stuff about addiction into your stand-up routine, or...?
I did. I'm in an odd place right now as a performer. I've been doing stand-up about 13 years, and when I first started, I was still drinking, so it was very big, very Farley-esque, you know. I was heavier than I am now, and very physical, you know what I mean? A lot of drinking stories and drug stories, and just this wild, chaotic ball. I actually did stand-up on HBO in a blackout.
Really?
Yeah, and
wow,
I jumped
that's like a gift that came like later, right?
I actually called my manager. God bless this guy. He was so nice. He let me sleep on his... I came out here. I had nowhere to live. I slept on the sofa. I said, hey, so when's the car coming? And he's like, for what? And I said, for the HBO gig. He's like, you did that 2 days ago.
Wow. Did you do all right?
Like, that's what I said.
How was I?
I go,
How was I?
Was it funny? And he goes, yeah, you don't remember? I go, I don't know.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was and I got sober after that.
Was that a wake-up call?
That was, yeah, I did. That's when I got sober. I was going to lose
Right, you're
my
missing
wife
the
and-
thing you worked for.
What's
right?
that?
You worked to be on
Yeah,
HBO.
I miss
Do
everything.
you get
black out
uncomfortable
of-
watching yourself perform the performances of when you were drunk?
I only have one. Well, that's not true. I have two. One I was almost drunk on, and then one I don't remember at all. And then all my other television appearances have totally... I wasn't necessarily sober. I just wasn't drinking for them. You know what I
Right.
mean? So there were really only 2 hiccups, and that was like 10 years ago. But now I'm at a point performing where I am abandoning all of my older material and in a way how I present it. And it's, I never thought I would say this, but I don't know if this is growth or what this is. I've been afraid of going into a certain area of my own life and conveying that on stage without having it be a therapy session, you know, so that it's
Right.
not some sardonic, introverted
preachy.
thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
I want it to be very fun and entertaining, but there's stories that I want to convey almost in a Cosby-esque way, but not in that clean-cut, sit in a chair with a colorful sweater comedy.
Right.
But just kind of, do my own thing in that narrative type of way where I'm not a slave to the punchline, which I don't consider myself like a hipster comic. You know, it's just I'm really in a wild place for those artists out there that are listening, writing, acting, musicians, whatever. I'm just taking this blind leap of faith into this area that I've been very afraid to go into. And so now I have stories that I want to tell. I've been going on stage only knowing that I'm going to say hello and thank you, good night. And
Wow.
then I go into these stories.
Wow.
And I just jump off with a leap of faith and try to entertain people with these stories. But because I have 15 years of training, I kind of can bookend them in a constructive way. So I know what the signposts are just from a storytelling point of view,
Right.
to make it fulfilling. And it's been paying off, and from not only myself selfishly, but for the audience.
And as Bill Hicks said, you can always do a dick joke just in case nothing else is working out, right?
That's true. You
And
know,
can you say that on the air?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
There we go. He means Dick Cheney. Jesus.
Yeah, right.
Who are some of your heroes? Comedic wise.
Pryor for me, is my comedic god, and he does this bit about going into a dice game, and he does like 15 characters in 3 minutes, but he does everybody there. And I grew up in a my mother, God bless her, really struggled with drugs and alcoholism. She's a convicted bank robber. It just really took her into a very negative space.
Wow.
And my parents
Your
were
mother was a bank robber?
yeah, my mother
Chicago.
was. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's a story of alcoholism and addiction.
Right.
So
Sure.
Right.
when you unpack that, she had to go to prison.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but I can make that funny on stage if I want. I choose kind of not to right now because it's weird.
Because she's getting out?
No, she's out now.
Oh.
It's weird. The program, I have resentment against her.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because
Yeah.
of my own childhood. But I pray for every day. As cheesy as that sounds, and no, I veered off into that tangent because prior, I can take these tragic things that I saw and go, oh, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. And he was up there not only talking about it, but like you're laughing and you're looking to the people next to you. My parents were 16 and 17 when they had me, not a combination for successful parenting. Right? Like it wasn't some premeditated thing. Like tomorrow night we're going to meet in the back of the car and start our future.
Right.
It wasn't.
You were planned like the bank job.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, at least they had a car.
Yeah, that robbery was sponsored by vodka.
Well, that's what I was asking. We had a comic in a few weeks ago, Felon O'Reilly.
Yeah, Felon O'Reilly,
And
73 convictions.
And I asked him that
7
question
convictions.
because I heard this guy years ago, this guy Chris Campbell say, if it's after 11 o'clock at night and it sounds like a good idea, don't do it. I've been convinced for a long time that every robbery planned starts at 3 in the morning.
Sure.
Nobody plans a robbery in open daylight.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, if it's drug or alcohol induced, but the guy, I mean, just where I came from, you were on the hustle from 4 years old on. Like we were trying to resell pens, and we were scooting on our skateboards, cutting off the, Buick or any way to make a little extra money, or it was just ridiculous. So that mindset of just hustle and come up with easier, softer way, guaranteed. Like we got to invent something.
And how long? When did that stop?
He's in show business.
You know what? I would. What is that line between a hustler and a healthy entrepreneur? I mean, unless you have that a band. Who would move to L.A. not knowing anybody with just this pipe dream, thinking, well, there's probably money in it, totally oblivious to what the realities of your success rate is.
That's two of us in this room.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to have that piping through your DNA in order to even make that decision. What do they say? The problem with being self-delusional is you're the last to know.
Right.
So like, you have to have a little bit of that nuttiness going through you to go, I have to do this. I have no other choice. So I don't think it's ever left.
We're going to take a break. We'll welcome a call when we get back. It's 877-830-830. It's KLEAN Radio. Well, Judah, I'm really going to be interested to see what your mother has to say about your dancing.
It's just on a separate note. We were talking before, and I said we were in the car, and I said, I could take it. That doesn't sound good. I was saying how, I could. I have
it sounded fine until you said it didn't sound good.
I have no problem laughing at myself. And
neither do we have a problem.
Or you're getting laughed at. And one of the things is I really have, in my sobriety, I embrace the quirks. It used to take me a long time to leave my house, and I became okay with who I was instead of feeling horrible about it. And I think that's a huge thing of sobriety is learning to embrace those weird things. Or that's just me.
To thine own self be true.
To thy own self be true, right.
Right. Shakespeare.
Or right.
What was that from, Hamlet?
I'm not sure.
How great is Macbeth? Let's just talk about it.
I don't know. We can call my mother. She'll know.
How do you not know?
Because my mother's the English lit professor.
Yeah, but you know everything about everything.
Not Shakespeare.
Andrew's that guy, by the way, if you're in the car listening to, you'd never want to listen to, a bad band. Because Andrew will be like, he's like that. He's that music snob, and he'll be like,
this is the bass player from Canned Heat.
Yeah, you don't know.
Not a good choice.
And he's like, if you say to Andrew, one of my favorite movies is we were talking about before, Wise Guys. Andrew will be like, Wise Guys. What a horrible movie that was.
What accent is that? I don't sound anything like that.
It's like a smart
and he's like, right, one of those and he's like, you must watch this.
What? I'm convinced you were drinking before the show.
And he's like, you must watch this movie, My Left, Hand. It was a brilliant.
Hand?
It's my left foot.
You see, exactly.
And I didn't even mention that movie. But
it's your type of movie. He's the subtitle guy. You're going to the Lemley to watch a movie.
I do. Actually, I hate to admit it because I'm not really big on the French, but in my top 10 favorite movies, 3 are French films.
Of course they are, because you're that guy.
The Prophet?
Yeah.
But what I love about him...
The Prophet. That's not in my top 10.
But what I love about him is he'll go to, the Louvre, with a Carl's Jr. in his hand.
Classy.
You gotta give props to a guy like that.
Classy.
And a handgun in the other.
And a handgun.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Well, our show is coming to a close pretty soon. I just really want to thank both of
We
you
have
guys
about
for coming
15
on.
minutes.
Yeah, I know. I didn't say it was happening right away, Judah. Just relax. you
Okay.
know. Just I want to give people a chance to say, who they are and thank them for being here. Right?
Right.
I'm going to chastise Judah on the radio now.
And on the way home.
And on the way home, yeah. The 45-minute drive from hell.
Last week,
Yeah.
we're leaving the show, so we're hungry. And so we decide to go somewhere.
Judah was hungry.
I was really hungry. So Andrew decides to pick the Denny's in the middle of, where you could get killed. Where we're the only people in the Denny's. It
was literally the worst Denny's
ever.
There's one lady in there.
That
was it. And she worked there.
Yeah, I wanted to call Mr. We woke up the cook,
Right.
or he was cleaning at the same
he
time.
was mopping
He was
and
mopping
cooking our
and
food,
cooking.
which is not a good sign.
And I wanted to call Mr. Denny and say, you got a problem at this Denny's, because the bathroom was not a good bathroom. And
You're not supposed to go to a Denny's.
But the problem is,
get to the story.
the problem is, as you're driving down the highway, you always see that one store that you pull over, and as you leave, you don't really know where you got off. It could, you just...
and you can't get back on.
Right,
Yeah.
I left my phone.
He left his phone, so about...
Oh, no.
So we had to turn on... We didn't get home till 3 in the morning because we're doing this phone
15
search.
minutes later. But then on the drive
You know
back,
how many
you're like...
Denny's there are on
You'd be
the
amazed.
five, too? There's,
Yeah.
if you miss the one it is, forget it.
Yeah.
There's 8 of them.
There's always
Anyway.
a guy at the counter at 4 a.m. just taking a break from murder.
Yeah.
He's going to get a quick grand slam in before my next victim.
You think that's the spot of murderers, is Denny's?
Sure, I got to take a break.
Even murderers need a
goodness.
break.
Yeah, moon's over Miami.
Yeah, they do have some classy names for their food. Really, now they have this thing, $4 all you could eat pancakes.
Now
As
that's for an addiction.
That's
right there.
that is an addiction.
Yeah, right?
Because who else is gonna? I mean, how many pancakes can you eat?
Yeah, you're on your sofa crying at 2 a.m. You know what? I need pancakes.
Yeah.
I got $4.
Yeah, I got $4.
$4, right? And 40 cents for the
Right.
tip.
And you got the tax as
Right.
well. 10%? Wow, Judah. 10%?
Let's not even go there. I was talking about the person that doesn't have a lot of money at home. Okay, $4.80. Okay.
That would have been great if you were just vehemently defending the 40-cent tip, right?
Yeah, I totally
Maybe
gave
just
up.
do the other way.
I totally gave up on that one. I realized how it came out.